nematodes. The common names are important because if he want to ask direct question, he will definitely ask a direct question like what is liver fluke, what is intestinal, like that. So you must be thorough with the common names. So at the same time, study the try to remember the route of entry, intermediate host, definitive host, and the types of sarcoria and the esophagus classification. So you can thorough with them. And if you see the drug of choice, they can ask because if he want to interlink with the pharmacology, then he will ask the drug of choice for different parasites. So in protozoology, if you go to the exam without studying hemoprotozoans, you may lose two or three questions. So this is the most important part in protozoology is hemoprotozoans. So don't go without studying these hemoprotozoans. So at the same time, focus on vectors, common names as usual. Protozoology and parasitology means remembering the common names. I will say how to study effectively this parasitology. So now, if he want to ask a question like no, if he want to ask a tough question, he will definitely ask the recent vaccines for different protozoans. So be aware with that also. So he may ask like simple questions like which of the following is tissue protozoa, which of the following is intestinal protozoa. So he may ask a question like that. So be prepared it. So in entomology, we got questions like very basic level. He didn't ask any in-depth. He didn't ask any in-depth questions. He asked very basic level like the shape of the flea and type of a pupa. So first start with basic entomology. Any subject, start with basics. If you don't want to study parasitology, then best to learn some basic knowledge. Then at least you may have a chance to give answer for one that question. So don't leave any subject. If you want to leave any subject, just study the basics. So now coming to the answers. Okay. Hmm. Okay. O- Okay.
Hyderabad.
It's okay. Now let us come to the question and answer section. So we filtered so many questions, and we are saying which questions are important to the students. So I'm going to explain them one by one. Each one of us will explain few questions. So first of all, how to read textbooks in short time. So according to me, you cannot read textbooks in short time. If you want to do it, then go for short class notes. Hello, am I audible? So the best thing to to read the textbooks in short time is just go with the class notes. So one of the student asked me whether UG basics are important or OGP is important. According to me, OGP is nothing because you will get OGP if you present in the paper. But if you take ICR, it is completely different from writing the notes. So according to me, even if you are having an average student, also it will be okay. But I can say that those students who are having UG basics, they are having more chances to get in the get top 10, top 50 rank. So if you are having enough UG basics, then you will definitely will be there in the top 50. So self study or coaching. According to me, there is no need of coaching for this ICR exam because this is not an IAS level. Not so coaching is not at all required. Self study you can achieve. So which subject should be more concentrated to get good rank? This is the most wonderful question for me. So if you want to get a rank in between 50 to 200, along with you are having some UG basics, then I can recommend you that study microbiology, surgery, gynecology, and pathology. If you are very well confident on these four subjects, you will be definitely in there around 50 to 200 rank. So based upon your performance in the exam, you may be you may come to top 50 also. So current trends in asking question. So according to me, for me in 2020, because the pattern has changed,
Please
I am
repeat
telling
the
this at the
subject.
time for one more time. What?
Please repeat the subjects
Hello.
you have told. Hello.
Microbiology, surgery, gynecology, pathology. These four. Microbiology, surgery, gynecology, pathology.
Thank you, sir.
So current trends in asking question, I have observed that as the time limit for question is increased because 120 minutes, 120 questions. Earlier it was like 150 minutes for 160 questions. There will be less time for each question. So they use it to ask direct questions. But now it is like lengthy questions. The only strategy the answer will be there in the sentence itself. Don't feel any nervousness. Just the answer will be comes with easily. They will ask direct questions, but in lengthy manner. So the type of standard of questions is very field level. Otherwise, application purpose. Don't expect any memory based questions. Even they ask also, they will be like how you are applying that memory knowledge. They will ask like that only. The paper mostly will be application basis and field level basis. So will they ask drugs and doses? According to me, it's no, because if a professor want to ask a drug dose, the dose will be very different from different animals, different conditions. So they don't want that question to be controversial. So mostly they don't ask. If they want to ask drug related question, you will ask the drugs like ivermectin and intestine which are having a specific dose. So no need to worry about the drugs and doses. So the most commonly asked question is how to remember for longer time. So this is some technique I'm saying which I'm followed. So for example, if you are giving a 14 days of time for a particular subject, so particular thing you want to study in 14 days, then divide it into 14 parts. So on first day, read the first part. On second day, revise the first day one which you have studied and study the second day part. On third day, revise first and second days and study the third part. You may having doubt that how I can revise first day, second day syllabus on the third day and how I have to complete the third day portion. So here's the simple technique is if you take 1 hour time for the day one first syllabus, you will definitely revise it in within 10 to 15 minutes. So if you revise that the day one portion day third, it will be like 5 to 6 minutes. If you do the revise of day one syllabus on the day four, it will be go around hardly 3 to 4 minutes. So if you do continuously like this, and if you want to go for 15 days, then after 15 days, once revise everything, then I can assure that you won't forget anything. So I followed this principle for parasitology and pharmacology and microbiology because these three subjects are having the most memory based things. So you must remember all these things. So follow this. If you want to follow this, okay. Then otherwise, if you are having your own strategy, then fine, you follow that only. So now the strategy for the exam. So first and foremost thing you have to do is fix your mind that you are going to write an exam, and you have to continuously say your mind that how important it is to you, how you want to go to your dream college, dream university. So fix that in your mind. So then collect the source for all subjects. This is the most fundamental thing you must do on the at the early stages, because don't yourself in a hurry that I have to start early. I have to start early. First collect the sources for all subjects, then start slowly. Because if you started something and you are not having a material of some topic, then you will feel like frustrated. So first collect the sources. Then the second most thing is follow a schedule, specific schedule. I know we are students, it is somewhat difficult to follow schedule, and I can say that even I prepared so many schedules but I didn't follow. But only few at the last time of the preparation only I followed a strict schedule. So now, so try to read in systemic manner and follow a schedule. According to that, go. So anyhow, we will provide a schedule for you that is of 5 month and 1 month revision schedule, 6 month schedule. So if you want to prepare, if you want to follow that, it's okay. If and otherwise, if you are having your own schedule, then it's too good. So once you start the preparation, don't give any pause. Even if you stop the preparation of like 10 days or 11 days, so like if even if you give the stop also, then do go to the Telegram and keep in touch with the subject. Don't go away from the touch of the subject. If you are in internship, then give at least 4 hours per day. This is ideal time because as you are in the internship, you may having so much of clinical work, and you will definitely need a rest. So my suggestion is study at least 4 hours, because when I prepared during internship only, so I can recommend you that at least study 4 hours per day. And if you are completed your internship, I mean to those who are in 2015 batch, they can study at least 8 hours per day, because you will having enough time per day. And don't remember, please remember that give appropriate sleep for you, because to revise and to memorize things, you must need sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours sleep. Give 25% of your time to the revision only. 25% of your preparation time should be of revision. So because revision makes you different from those who studied and those who memorized and those who do exam very well. So according to me, always ready to take mock test. Some students thinks that I didn't prepared. How can I write the mock test? But that is not a matter, because you have already completed all the syllabus during your college days itself. So never hesitate to take mock test. Then just appear in the mock test. Try to try to check your memory, how you are able to calling the memory. Then work on the mistakes. And my suggestion is to maintain a book for mistakes. This will helps you a lot. So write mock test and never consider about result. So sometimes you may get a good rank, sometimes you may not get a good rank in the mock test. So mock tests are only for to making you to eligible to know how you have to manage the time. 2 hours time, that is only for that only the mock tests are helpful. Otherwise there is no use. Just you recall the memory, and you will be thorough with the time management with the mock test. Okay. Now I request Dr. Vaidehi to continue.
Thank you, Dr. Hanuman. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's very glad to meet all the future aspirants in the same platform. With this happiness, I'm going to continue this veterinary pathology, how to approach and how to gain more marks when these questions come from the veterinary pathology stream. So in veterinary pathology, we'll have some general pathology, systemic, specific, and poultry. Now let's look into the general pathology. We should cover the topics like the degenerative process, like hydropic degeneration, hyaline, and etc., and the disturbances of growth. This is very important to cover the general pathology, and I will also tell you the reference books at the end. The disturbances of growth. Dr. Hanuman, please, previous slide.
Yeah, I'm on starting slide only.
Okay, yeah. You have to focus on the disturbance of growth and inflammation and the types of inflammation and what all the cells that are included in the acute inflammation and the chronic inflammation, and you have to see the terms that are related to every system regarding the inflammation, and you have to see that the healing, which factors are decreasing the healing process and which factors will enhance the healing process, and also the circulatory disturbances like edema, shock, and thromboembolic classifications. And we had got a question regarding the edema. What are the factors that influence the causation of the edema, like decrease in hydropic hydropic pressure or increase in the osmotic pressure, like that. You have to see all the predisposing causes and also to focus on the etiology. And the coming to the disorders of pigment metabolism, you have to see what are the pigments that are related to exogenous and also the endogenous. And you can also cover the neoplasms that are very important, and the terms related to the neoplasms like benign and the malignant, and also in malignant we'll have some classification like sarcoma and the carcinoma. And also the carcinoma and the sarcoma, the way of transmission through which routes they transmit. And also you have to focus on the terminology, and also the deficiency diseases like which vitamins, minerals, and which you have to, I suggest you to make a chart like vitamin A deficiency. We will see these conditions in these species like that. Next. Okay. Now coming to the systemic pathology, you have. I know it's we'll have many systems to cover, and you have to see in each system. You should focus only on the classification of disease conditions. For example, if you see the digestive system, in digestive system we'll have like enteritis, gastritis, and all. You have to go through all these classifications, and what is there any major points regarding those etiology and all. And you also have to cover the anomalies and inflammatory terms regarding each organ system. And the skin and its appendages, will have some terms related to the skin and its appendages, and also the sense organs related to eyes, ears, and all. You have to daily go and by heart those all the terms which you should not forget. Next slide. Okay, coming to the reference, this special and regarding the avian pathology, you have to mainly focus on the postmortem lesions and all. And coming to the pathology, it's mainly related to the postmortem lesions. And in our year, we got like cirrhosis. What are the postmortem lesions you see in the cirrhosis? And also like they have given some diseases in the options, and they have told us to identify which postmortem lesion will be related to the following choices. So you have to mainly focus on the postmortem lesions when you are preparing, when you are focusing on the veterinary pathology. As in the infectious diseases, those diseases like caused by bacteria, viruses, and protozoa will all be covered in the some like microbiology, parasitology, and all. So you have to focus mainly on the postmortem lesions, and what are the microscopic lesions, and what are the macroscopic lesions, and what are the different types of stains. And to the different degenerations, we will find some different stains. There will be in special stains. You have to make note of all those things. And also coming to the anemia and all, there will be like some basket cells and band cells and everything. You have to make note of all those things in a small book, and you have to revise daily. And coming to the reference books, I personally prefer Ganti Shastri. It's amazing book for ICAR students. It's really very important book to consider. And also for poultry diseases, you can go for JL Vegard, and in that we'll have some postmortem lesions very clearly. And you can go with these two books, and also the lecture notes. The lecture notes will be mainly the extract of these two books everywhere in every college. So you can go through your lecture notes. If you don't have any proper lecture notes, you can go with these two textbooks. Next slide. Okay, coming to the veterinary public health and epidemiology. It basically contains the three parts like public health, milk and meat hygiene, and also the epidemiology, and also the environmental sciences. Actually, it's a bit difficult for every aspirant to complete all these topics in a particular time period. We can have these, we can focus on these topics mainly, like milk and its components. What are the species having high lactose percentage, and what are the species having high SNF percentage, like that. And also the different types of milks, like skimmed milk, toned milk, double toned milk, and their fat percent and SNF percentages. And also this grading of milk, like MBRT, how much time that good milk is tested, and all these values will have the tables in the Sherkar book. We have to note all those tables, and in which time period, or in which percentages will have low E. coli, and all those things you have to memorize daily. And also the adulteration and the test used to find the adulteration in the milk and ghee. What are the colors that are positive for the adulteration? What are the colors that are negative? You have to, as that pattern is changing nowadays, you have to make note of all those things. Previously it is used to be like what are the tests that is used to find the adulteration of milk and like that. But nowadays, from last previous 2 years, the pattern is changing, like reason and assertion likewise. So you have to make point of each and everything what you are focusing on. So now you have to take now adulteration test. If they ask this test is used for adulteration in milk, and you have to note which color is positive and which color is negative also. And also the pasteurization time and the temperature combinations, and LP system of milk, which ingredient is mainly the catalyst and the promoter, and which compound is a main basic for that LP system, and what is the synonym for LP system, and what is the full form. You have to read everything. And the milk borne diseases and the classification, this is somewhat very tricky, like food intoxication. Those terms will be very tricky, so you have to make note, like which bacteria is coming under which classification. So you have to by heart this classification also daily. So coming to the spoilage of milk and milk products, there are many spoilages, like bitty cream, ropiness, and blowing and all. So you have to make which organism is causing that condition, and also we'll have some orders and off flavors in the milk. So which products are causing that off flavors, and which component of that bacteria is making the milk to smell like that. Dr. Hanuman, next slide. And coming to the meat, we have to make note of, we'll have some table, like tabular form, which species will have some color and order. You have to see that table, and also the terms related to different species, like which like a chavon is called for which species, and cara beef is called for, and also the terms related to the eating of beef is called as, eating of dog meat is called as. You have to be very careful with those terms. And also the slaughter procedures, there are some slaughter procedures, and also the terms related to the slaughter procedures. You have to be in some slaughter procedures, there will be some poaching techniques related to the hindlings and all. What are the slaughter procedures they are practicing, and all those things you have to keep in mind. And also the meat boiling temperatures for different types of cysts and parasites. For trichinella, we'll have some special temperature and temperature combinations, and for some cysts will have some other. So you have to make note of all those things. And coming to this public health, the zoonotic diseases play a very important role, and we'll have at least one question from these zoonotic diseases and the classification. So you have to be very thorough with these diseases. And also the coming to the major burden of this public health, that epidemiology, I think this is very burden to every student. I don't know. Coming to this epidemiology, you can refer any basic ICAR publication books related to this epidemiology. You have to know what is prevalence, what is incidence, and what are the proportions, rates, and all. And you have to make note of all those formulas in a tabular form, and you have to see them daily. We don't know. I didn't see any paper. I hardly saw a paper with any problem solving. So maybe in next years we may expect questions like problem solving from the epidemiology. So you have to be thorough with these formulas also. And coming to the different types of maps and all, like isomods, chloroplathic maps, like that. You have to differentiate and compare what map is used for what and what, like that. And also you have to see sensitivity, specificity, and vaccine efficacy, like these terms also you have to be very thorough. And coming to this environmental part, we have to coming sorry from epidemiology, we will also have some very important topic, that case studies. So we'll have some two types of case studies. In that case studies, again there will be some subtypes. We'll have some synonyms to that subtypes. So you have to know where in ICAR the main important thing is to remember those synonyms also. Sometimes the examiner might think that he will not give the direct term. He may use any synonym he knows. So you have to be very careful with those synonyms also. So you also by heart those synonyms, not only in this public health but also in every veterinary science subject. You be thorough with the synonyms also. And coming to the ecosystem and its classification, like what is the noso area, what is the ecological niche, and nosogenic territory, nidai, and all. You have to be examples with you have to correlate, and you have to be very careful with this. And coming to the water and its properties, at what water pH, physical properties, and also what are the scales that are used to measure the turbidity and color units. You have to make note of all these things. And in which water will have a more contamination of Clostridium and E. coli and all. The recent contamination will contain which type of bacteria, and the purified water contains how much percentage of E. coli and all. So you have to be note all these points. And coming to the hardness of water, what are the minerals that are causing the hardness of water, and how can we treat to remove that hardness? So there will be a classification regarding this. You can also you also want to see this. And the filters classification, you have to see the rapid sand filter and slow sand filter, and what is the sand particle size, and how much efficacy these both are. So you have to as the paper is changing, we also want to change. So we have to focus on each and everything from the right beginning. So we have to go some deep. And also the solid and liquid waste disposals. And coming to these also, we'll have some protocol like stepwise. So you have to remember those waste disposals in this stepwise manner, so that if in future if they asked anything about arranging order, you can arrange them easily. And also the BOD and COD values regarding the waste disposal and all should be focused. And biosafety classification, which cabin is coming under biosafety 1, 2, 3, and what are the equipments included in it, and also the examples of those organisms coming under these classifications. And also the OAE classification of diseases. We will also have some classifications like OAE 1, A, B, and you have to be like a OIA will have some how much of mortality like that. You have to note the definitions also, what OIA means, B means, and C means. And also the biomedical waste classification, like colors. The main important is you have to take care of the colors, which color comes under which waste and all. And then finally you have to focus on all the organization full forms, and where is this locations, and who are the present chief journals of that organizations and all. Coming to the reference books. The reference books, you can prefer your lecture notes if it's not in correct order, or you can go for milk, you can refer the Tanva's notes. And I personally prefer the elements of veterinary public health by A.T. Sherikar for meat, and also for zoonotic diseases and for milk. And for this is an ICAR publication. So if any chance, like ICAR people may refer this textbook. So this is my personal opinion. And also you can refer the textbook of Preventive Veterinary Medicine and Epidemiology by R.D. Sharma. This is also an ICAR publication, and the epidemiology part is very, very easy and very it's very easy to finish. So you can refer this for epidemiology series. And these two veterinary epidemiology by Michael Trushfield, you can refer, but to complete the revision so fast, you can refer this epidemiology by R.D. Sharma. And coming to the environmental part, you can refer your lecture notes or the Tanva's notes. Next. Okay, some of our registered candidates asked Q&A and how to prepare after the completion of internship regarding the preparation time. So every aspirant will have their different perspectives, and some aspirants may approach their dear seniors or the professors guidance. And as when I was at to start my preparation, I contacted many of my seniors, and many told their strategies, but I followed a strategy. Now I am discussing the strategy what I followed. I used to my prep up to the 9:30 evening. This whole time period I used to divide into the theory and the question paper practice. So theory I divided like each veterinary subject, like we have 9 subjects, so I divided 9 hours for each subject, and I have chosen the topics, and also the remaining part in between I have I attempted the question banks and all. For question banks also I have given the time, like each 9 subjects half an hour, half an hour, half an hour. So I practiced this same protocol for 2 months. I have only during our time we have only 4 months for our exam to start. I started my preparation on February, and our exam is on June, as before the COVID scenario. And I aimed to complete this schedule what I have told earlier, to complete within 2 months. And remaining 2 months, I want to complete all the revision, and also the question banks thoroughly revision should be made. So I followed this strategy, and best question banks and the strategy in solving the different question banks. As per the best question banks will be like you can refer the Nanu, TNPS, and Tanvas 2020, and Rapidex. In Rapidex also there will be some introduction points to remember. You have to daily remember those things, like they will be very difficult, like they will be so deep. So you have to daily memorize those things also. And the strategy in solving the different question banks is I used to highlight those questions which are very odd to me, or which I was very new to those questions. And I used to prepare a separate book for those questions which I feel very odd. And I used to practice, revise those questions for 1 week once, like that. And weightage of each subject will be uploaded later in the group. How difficult is secure a single digit rank in ICAR? I think it's not very difficult. Starting days, we may feel it's difficult to secure a single digit rank, but after starting your own strategy, after maintaining your own time management and number of revisions, you will have some idea, and you will have some confidence in you that you will definitely secure a single digit rank. Do short notes help? Yeah, obviously the short notes are very, very important. Like if you have any time to make the short notes, you can make the short notes, and you can read them when you are free. Like internship people will have some less time, so they can revise these short notes. And also during before the exam days also we'll have some stress, and we use it to be afraid of new subjects and new topics. So without by avoiding those topics if you refer the short notes, you will be revised very properly and you will have a better chances of securing a single digit rank. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vaidehi. I request Dr. Ragini to continue and try to stay fast.
Okay. Good evening to everyone. Let's continue the webinar with. Okay. I'll continue with the subjects like medicine and pharmacology. Coming to the medicine, in the medicine there are two topics like clinical medicine and preventive medicine. In the clinical medicine, the most points to be considered are physical examination like heart rate, respiratory rate, pulse, temperature like that, and fluid therapy. Coming to this, crystalloids and colloids. For example, in the case of shock and dehydration condition, rumen dysfunctions concentrate mostly on auscultation, percussion, palpation, ruminal fluid pH, and treatment of these conditions. And systemic wise concentrate on the inflammatory conditions like nephritis, pancreatitis, ascites, cystitis, and the postures of the animals in such conditions. And vomiting, melena, jaundice. Coming to cranial nerves and reflexes, there are questions last through 2 years. They have given question like one question on the cranial nerve and reflexes also. Just go through it. Heart and respiratory sounds. They asked like last year cardiac murmurs and all. So go through it. Then diagnostic tests. Diagnostic tests regarding the rumen dysfunctions like lip-tack test, fold test in TRP and abomasal ulcers also like serum blood occult. Serum biochemistry, in abomasal ulcers, go through blood occult test, like 4 types of abomasal ulcers, like that. Coming to the metabolic diseases, in the metabolic diseases, go through the names, symptoms, normal and abnormal serum levels, diagnostic tests, for example, for a case of milk fever, we'll go through Sulkowicz test like that, and mostly concentrate on the treatment and management of metabolic diseases. Coming to the deficiency diseases, compulsory question from the medicine is like one is hemoprotozoal and another one is deficiency diseases like vitamin A and E like that. Then neonatal fold, like they will ask question like hypoglycemia, hypothermia. In the case of neonates, we see such conditions, so go through it. Then preventive medicine. Preventive medicine, viral, bacterial, parasitic, and fungal. Go through all the names and symptoms and diagnostic tests, for example, glanders, Mellin test like that. And hemoprotozoal diseases, compulsory question from medicine is hemoprotozoal diseases, go through all the symptoms like conditions like jaundice, anemia, and like Babesia, Theileria, name, species, symptoms, and drug of choice. For example, Theileria buparocone, like that. Then main note is that to make all the list of viral, bacterial, fungal, and parasitic diseases, like if you make such things in case of cattle, HSBQ, FMD, and in the case of sheep pan, go to blue tongue like that, you will be remembering more because you will confuse if you read continuously without doing this. Okay, and study accordingly. Then coming to pharmacology, class notes and most important book is most people they prefer Harpal Sandhu, but my choice is to go with B.K. Roy. Then in pharmacology there are 4 parts: general pharmacology, neuropharmacology, chemotherapy, and toxicology. Coming to general pharmacology, go through all the terminology. Don't leave even one terminology like potency, drug dosage, and everything. All the terminology in general pharmacology, pharmacokinetics and dynamics, agonist, antagonist, like that thing. And neuropharmacology, coming to this, go thorough with sympathetic and parasympathetic, like all the receptors, where are the location, like alpha 2 receptors, bronchi and all, alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2, all the receptors. Then anesthetics in detail, like barbiturates, like opiates, all anesthetics in detail, you go through it. Agonists and antagonists, like see in benzodiazepines have given you one example like this, you go through all. Then NSAIDs, compulsory question from NSAIDs will be there, and autocoids like histamine, serotonin, all the receptors also. Go through thorough with the classification first. Then under chemotherapy, under chemotherapy and toxicology, the common point I've noticed is go through the drugs or any poison and which enzyme they are inhibiting. Okay, nephrotoxicity, ototoxicity, like the other, see, like aminoglycosides, there will be nephrotoxicity, ototoxicity. So toxicity conditions also. Then anti-cancer, antiviral, and anti-helminthic drugs. Like last year, they have asked like monapantel. They will include the question like parasitology and pharmacology. Okay, then toxicology. Coming to toxicology, mainly factors affecting toxicology like lethal dose. Sorry for the disturbance. Like lethal dose, and coming to toxicology, we can divide it into like plant toxins, non-metals, metals, factors affecting toxicity, and mainly antidotes. The note is terminology in case of general pharmacology and drugs or toxins. In this, you need to stress mainly on the enzyme inhibition, and or the, if it is like drug, it comes to receptor binding. If it is like toxin, it comes to enzyme inhibition. Mainly concentrate on this. Then some of the questions which you have asked early, like patterns of studying and schedule. Schedule will be providing you in another in a group or in a YouTube channel. Okay, schedule, you go through it. We have prepared 5 months schedule and 1 month's revision. So 6 months schedule. If you want to go through it, you can go through it. Otherwise, you have prepared already, then you can do it also. Then things must be considered while studying. See, things must be considered. There are no such things like go through the subject thoroughly and get the knowledge of all the subjects, and don't only concentrate on the underlined topics, because ICAR questions, they will not ask direct questions all the time. So there will be logic questions. So don't go through the underlying points. Then how to go with the interest or scope? If you have already decided a subject, if you have already decided a subject in like internship or in UG, you can choose that subject accordingly. Then if you are not decided yet in internship and after your exam also, then you can go with your scope.
Now I request Dr. Reshma to continue.
This is Dr. Reshma. Let's continue with gynecology. So basically, I followed Tanua's notes. You can also follow Saxena for andrology and Pradeep Kumar for applied veterinary gynecology. So these are the high yielding topics which you have to concentrate. First is anatomy and physiology of the reproductive tract. Then comes the endocrinology of estrous cycle, follicular dynamics, hormones, and their clinical use. There will be a definite question from the hormones section, so just be clear with this. Then comes the infertility conditions like repeat breeder, cystic ovarian degeneration. This time we got a question of COD, so just give importance to these portions. Now from obstetrics, we have the placenta classification, stages of parturition, its mechanism, and conditions like torsion, dystocia, abortion, and prolapses. So please note, we have to study gynecology, species-wise differentiation, all the numerical data of estrous cycle length, duration, gestation period, and obviously wet rapid points. So make a table and then revise it repeatedly. Now comes the andrology section. So again, anatomy and physiology, then artificial insemination, semen extenders, cryopreservation, and also the year and scientist name regarding the AI, its techniques and diluents. Now, important is the semen characteristics. They can ask you the semen volume, concentration for each species. So make a table for the same and repeat, like space repetition should be given. Next is infertility, mainly impotentia coendi and impotentia generandi. You have to study in detail. And points from wet rapidex. Be clear with this. Next is anatomy. This is completely a low weightage subject. So just follow any notes like your class notes, or you can follow RK Ghosh. So basically, first be thorough with osteology portion, like number of bones. Like last time they asked number of bones in the forelimbs and hind limbs. Then skull, you can have a idea of cranial, facial bones, foramen, vertebral formula, etc. Then from arthrology, joint classification and examples. Coming to splanknology, yes, yes. So splanknology and neurology section, just system-wise species differences, anatomical location of each organ, and from neurology section, cranial nerves. Just be clear with the longest, largest, and shortest cranial nerve like that. Next comes the histology portion. So epithelium, its types, location, and histological features of different organs. From embryology portion, be thorough with the germ layers, types of cleavage, different types of egg based on the yolk distribution and chromosome numbers also. Dr. Hanuman, next slide. Okay, these are some of the questions which were asked. So, how to do a smart revision? So, smart revision can be done in different stages. Basically, daily on a daily basis, we can do a revision. Just study your topics for the day, and at the end of the day, just go through the highlighted points. Or else you can do the next day before start of the next subject, just 1 hour. Just have a photogenic memory of the highlighted points, and then you can do subject wise revision after completion of each subject. Just revise the highlighted points only, and then weekly at least you should give one mock test and rectify your mistakes. Then before your 15 days prior to your examination, just make a schedule of final revision. At least 15 days should be given for your final exam preparation. Next is Tanva's notes enough to crack ICAR? Tanva's notes is good enough, but if you're not having any access, you can follow the standard textbooks. Ideal time for preparation, UG or internship. In UG, you won't be having much idea like how to approach to the subject and all. So I think internship time would be a better option.
Dr. Trisha, please continue.
Good evening, everyone. I will tell you about veterinary microbiology. Basically, it covers general microbiology, immunology, bacteriology, virology, and mycology. Basically, from the ICR point of view, textbooks for veterinary microbiology, basically veterinary microbiology and microbial disease by Quinn and Carter. And you can also go for your class notes and Tanva's notes. Tanva's notes, they are basically good for bacteriology and virology. Next slide, please. So basically, important aspects, virology and bacteriology, they are most important topics of microbiology in the ICR. Focus basically in bacteriology and virology, focus on the causative agents, disease caused by them, their synonyms, and specific test. In bacteriology, go for specific media. In immunology, hypersensitivity, focus on immunoglobulins, major histocompatibility complex, and lymphoid organs. In virology, family, genus, and disease caused by them, and go for gold standard test for various diseases. So basically, these were some of the questions which were asked by the students, like study management during internship. So it's basically hectic to manage during internship. So you can start early, like you can wake up at 6 a.m. and give 1 or 2 hours to study. Since mind is very active in the morning, so you can at least give 1 or 2 hours in the morning. Then you can study in between when you get time. Like in many sections, there is not much workload, so you can manage to solve questions, or You can keep PDF with you in your phones, and you can study those PDFs, and you can even keep books with you, and you can solve questions when you got time. After coming from internship, like it's almost, I think, up to 4 o'clock, then you can take 1 hour rest, and you can give two sittings of almost 2 hours each, or you can go for three sittings too if you have enough stamina left. When no workload, like when you are posted in such sections, like you are having lab duties, you can give more time, to studies, and try to solve more and more questions. Subject selection, like some students were asking which subject to start first. Basically, go for alternative subjects, like first choose easy subject and then tough. Likewise, I think you should start with clinical subjects, since most of us have read the clinical subjects in our final years, and so it will be easy to recall the clinical subjects, and as we will be able to solve the questions, so it will help in boosting our confidence. Next slide, please. Are textbooks essential? According to me, they are not really essential, but concept building is important. If you are weak in any concept, you can refer the textbook, but in 6 months or 5 months preparation, like you're not having enough time to read each and every topic from the textbook, else it will be hectic for you and you will forget it soon. It will not be easy for you to remember actually. So basically, you can refer textbooks to improve your weak concepts, because as the pattern is changing, so many questions they basically need basic understanding. So you have to improve your concept basically, and there is no need to go into much depth. Class notes or Tanva's notes, they are sufficient. If you do not have access to your own notes, so you can go for Tanva's notes. And I think, like, you are studying, you are giving 20 or 25 days to each subject. So in that period, you can study your own notes for 7 to 8 days, and then you can donate your time in solving questions. Basically, try to solve more and more questions, as well. It will help in raising your confidence. And you should have a target like solving 800 to 1,000 questions per day. You should keep a target. All the best, everyone. Thank you.
Sir, can you please send this PPT in WhatsApp group?
Okay. So there were some questions. Srikanth asking where is the best college for pharmacology. So I heard that the Mathura College is having Center Advanced Faculty Training Center for Pharmacology, and I heard that various research projects are going on at present now. But I cannot say that it is a very best college for that. So consult each and every college. If you are having any friends, consult your friends or ask the opinion of various seniors. Then only confirm to go to that college. There is a best college for surgery, sir. Gokul Das. So if you ask me, I can say that Gadavasu, Tanvasu, IVRI are the best. But if you want to become a good clinician in the surgery, come to Gadavasu or Tanvasu. So if you want to do a research on research side, then go for IVRI. This is my opinion. So you can change it by meeting with by talking to other seniors also. This is my opinion. Is it necessary, Punit Chaudhary, is it necessary to read these books, or we can use our classroom notes? I already said that class notes is the most fundamental thing. Start with class notes, and if you're having time, then go for textbooks. The common thing in all 5 members is we followed class notes and we are not topper in our classes. It is for your question. What is your OGPA? We are not yet plus. So OGPA is not a matter. Just go. Will you please send PDF the slides after seminar?
About systemic pharmacology, you will be getting questions from the receptors. So you can go through that. Like sympathetic, parasympathetic, and all the receptors, no, you can go through that.
Sagar KR. How much emphasis are given to the classification? So classification, if you read the classification of in the every subject and go for it, then it will helpful you. Sagar K, regarding the values of time in oviduct or embryo time in the uterus, the numerical value is variable in any specification regarding them. So it is important thing, but rather than stressing more on that, you can read other things also, because they may not be interested to ask that memory based questions. The strategy will be same for animal science as well. As we don't know the accurate strategy, I cannot say. It would be, is it enough to study syllabus given by ICAR, or whether we want to study entire topics from particular subjects? So my opinion is I didn't follow that syllabus provided by ICAR, because I don't think they will see the syllabus while making the question paper. So just whatever there in the course outlines of particular subject, just go with that. Moni Bora, what are the important question bank books? So my suggestion is first go with eNano, then go with Rapidex, then Tanuvas notes and Bidar question banks. And there is a material that Dhruv and Desai. So better to read that also. What is the main difference in IDO and ICAR preparation? What is IDO? Abul Manam, sir, from where we get Tanvas notes? You can get it in various Telegram channels. And you can get in the PTR channel also.
Sir, where to give mock tests?
I suggest wet extension and Vetamit. Wet extension and Vetamit.
Sir, these are Telegram channels.
Yeah, no. Yes, they are having Telegram channels as well as they are having websites also.
Okay, sir. Sir,
You can get nearly 20.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, is there any proper mock tests for preparations like that? In Telegram, we are getting questions in very little manner. We are not getting in proper, matlab, sir.
The time comes now.
Okay.
Notification.
I said that mock tests are only for how to manage the time of the 2 hours and to check your memory. So there is no chance that the mock test questions will come in the exam. It will be very totally different from the exam. So just go with meditation.
It is out only.
Sir, there are many mechanism of actions of various groups in pharmacology. So what will we focus?
In mechanism of action, if the particular drug is inhibiting any enzyme, a particular drug is having some metabolite. Those things are important. Focus on those things.
Yes, sir, because pharmacology is a very vast subject, sir.
Yes. Manjunath Manju. Sir, how to remember all concepts few days before exam? That no one can do. Give at least 2 to 3 months. Strategy for solving questions and learning notes at the same time. How to manage it effectively. Study, if you are having 4 hours a day, study 3.5 hours and half an hour do the bits. Can you give an idea on a question paper pattern for ICAR? The pattern is changed this year. They're asking very lengthy questions and assessment reasoning type and application purpose only. What about physiology for vet science? They will ask only reproductive physiology. I don't think you have to give much time on physiology because they will ask only reproductive physiology. That too it will be covered in the gynecology. So if you are having enough time, then go with the blood physiology. That is enough. These practical topics are most important for ICI exam. Practical topics means they will ask only field oriented. So you can expect it. You can expect the questions. Any idea regarding exam date? I think they may give date in August or September.
India.
For gynecology, which college is better? So there will be 2 criteria to choose the gynecology. If you want to go with clinical aspect, few colleges are there. If you want to go with research, India is there. So clinical, if you want to go with the clinical aspect, there are so many. So my suggestion is before going for before going to select a college, first inquire with if you are having any friends, if you are having any seniors. Nowadays the inquiring is very easy because of Telegram. You can use that. Can you give marks distribution on each subject of last year ICR? Yes, we will provide last 3 years analysis, how the blueprint will be. We will provide that in the group. What to choose, veterinary science or animal science? It solely depends upon your interest. But my suggestion is don't fix as animal science before coming to the clinics. After coming to the clinics, you may get interest on clinical subjects. So the most probable, the best time to decide is after completion of 3rd year. Then you will be exposed to the clinics. Then you will have that idea that whether you are interested in the treating the animals or not. Then only decide vet science or animal science. Second year students, I'm afraid to book vet scan. This scan, how I complete? Vet scan, I don't suggest that book. Up to which rank we can get IVRA, sir? It depends upon the reservation and depends upon the subject also. You won't get surgery department there if you get more than 30 in general category. So it depends upon the reservation and department. JRF stipend. JRF is a misnomer. Now it is called as PG scholarship, ICAR PG scholarship. So it is around 12,600 per month. For every year, they will change number of PG scholarships for each subject. Now this year surgery is having 5. Next year it may be 3. So like that they will change according to the year wise. Website for mock test is Vet Extension and Vetamith. How many seats are there in ICAR? They will provide total list. It will be available in the website itself. Can you provide ICAR 2020 question paper? You can get in the Telegram channels. Cutoff of top college in veterinary science subject. So it will be vary with the, according to the subject. Anyhow, you will get the cutoffs of different subjects in different colleges in the ICR website itself. Please give Telegram channel links. Okay, I will provide question papers as well as links for various Telegram channels in our group. Can you tell how to go about covering surgery? We will give you the schedule. If you like it, go through it. We will have any idea in which month next ICAR will be conducted. I guess I'm guessing that it will be most probably it will be around August or September. So we cannot predict that even they can keep the exam in early also. So be prepared for it. Don't think that exam will be late. So start preparation immediately. They may keep in June, July also. Pharmacology, parasitology, how to study. Ankit A.R. Roy. I said whatever I followed for these two subjects, I said already. Just go through it. Just whatever you studied on day one, just revise it on day two, like this, like that. Go on. Why not wet scan? Not oriented to syllabus or any other better season. So according to me, the wet scan, the questions are like line to line questions are there. So I don't think it will be helpful. If you are having so much of time like 1 year, then go for it. Otherwise, don't do that. Inano and Rapidex and Dhruv Desai, these three. Where we can find previous IKR veterinary science question paper in Telegram. Up to which rank we can get stipend and up to how many time. You can get up to 2 years, and the rank we cannot predict. Even the students in the top 10 also may not get a JRF, may not get the stipend. So it depends solely on the reservation and the availability of the ICAR PG scholarship seats during that year. Since there is a lot of content and matters, what things to be studied and what to be left while going through the reference books. So we will share the PPT and we are provided the most important areas to be focused. First complete them. If you are having any doubts in that particular topics, then go refer the textbooks. Studying the whole is its matter, is your interest. At last, what makes you difference is who is studied the important thing, who is studied the unimportant thing. If you study the important things, then because you cannot expect a normal thing in the exam. Most important things which are doing in the field level only they will ask. For veterinary medicine, Dr. Ragini.
For veterinary medicine, Amalendu is a basic book. You can go through it, or small animal medicine, Ettinger. And some professors they teach from Redostids and blood also, like Redostids is nothing but blood only. So some professors may teach from that also. Just go through the topic which they have taught you, not the whole book. If you see the whole book, now you will become like you'll go mad after seeing that book. So go through the topics whichever your professors have taught you.
Does OGPA matters?
Ma'am, what about ICAR book? Hello, excuse me, sir.
What about?
Sir, what about ICAR textbook of veterinary medicine?
Hello.
Sir, what veterinary published by ICAR?
If you want to study the ICAR based books, then it's okay. But as you are not having much time now. Talking to me, if you see topics that you can with the class note itself. Otherwise, go with if you are having time, go for Amalendu Chakrabarti. So that's it. That's enough, more than enough for veterinary medicine. Amol Chougule. Sir, how we can start preparation from second year UG? It's very early to start preparation. Just give time. Enjoy the college days. Don't stress yourself in the UG itself. It's just second year. Wait for up to the fourth year. Once you expose to the clinics, then fix whether you want to do in animal science or veterinary science. No need of much longer preparation, according to me. Suggest objective book for veterinary science or animal science. I already said objective books. Regarding wildlife science, what we have to study? Is it included in veterinary science? Yes, it is included in veterinary science. So as they decrease the number of questions 120, we cannot expect a question from wildlife. Even they want to ask a wildlife question, that will be like most general knowledge type question. So 3 years back, they used to ask at least two or three questions in the general knowledge basis related to the veterinary, like number of lions in India, number of elephants in India. So you can expect if they want to ask, like they will ask like this. No need to focus much on wildlife. So from this
Sir,
time,
nowadays, sir, can I ask something?
yeah.
Sir, nowadays rumors are coming that ICR will be conducted in the month of January 2022 in order to not to wait the students of the new batch MSVE 2016 for the upcoming PG exams.
They are rumors only. What I got is when I was completed my internship on August mid-month. So I got a rumor that ICAR exam will be conducted in the next year, that is January 2021. So we were just like relaxed. Then the date suddenly comes 20 days before. So don't go for that rumors until unless the ICAR website reveals that. They are just rumors. Prepare your own, because this makes you the difference.
Sir, when did you send your 6 month schedule that you are talking about during PPT?
I will send after immediately. Don't worry, I will send you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sanchi Kamal. Sir, from this time we are having 1 year internship as per new VCA pattern. So JRF will be conducted within 6 months or according to 1 year time. So I think veterinary is not only one included in the ICR. There are so many other there. I don't think they will point out veterinary. These guys are doing 1 year internship or not. They will conduct according to as per the agriculture department will place the main role to fix the ICAR exam. So it will be conducted as regular as well. Our internship is going to start in next week, and it's of 1 year duration. And then how will be eligible for ICAR JRF? It will be conducted in August or September, as I said. So as you are going to start next week, I don't think you will be eligible, but I'm thinking that if any batches going to complete the internship in August or September, they may be eligible because they may give exemption. They may give exemption as they gave for us because of Corona. They may give exemption for you if you finish the internship by September or October. Does OGPA affect rank in ICAR? No effect. Forget about OGPA. Even if you are a topper, just forget about it. Focus on ICAR. Since there are a lot of books and matters, one single best book for veterinary surgery which can complete whole syllabus in short and concise manner. You won't find any book in the world. Single book. You have to study multiple books for surgery. As I said earlier, Venugopalan, start with Venugopalan and read with AP Singh for radiology, because you can expect at least 4 to 5 questions from radiology. And go with Anil Kumar Gangwar, veterinary orthopedics and lameness. These textbooks I followed. Can you share the WhatsApp group link?
Sir, my
Unofficially
internship
reference.
sir, excuse me, sir.
Okay.
Sir, in my internship starts from 22 of Feb, so I'm not eligible for this September exam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you are going to finish it off before September or October, then you may be eligible. Otherwise, if they conduct exam in June or July, you won't be eligible, I guess, because they don't give much exemption. No?
Because sir,
They don't give
duration
much
is of
exemption like 6 months.
because sir, duration
Yeah,
is
in
of
that case,
1 year.
in that case, you have to wait. Sir, I'm not. You have short notes for important topics in exam. Can you share them? So, other important thing I want to say is follow your own short notes. Prepare your own short notes. Don't try to follow others. Because for me, one topic may be not important. I don't write that in the notes. Otherwise, I may know that I know that point. I don't write that point. So it's better to follow your own notes. That's up. Let us finish.